PSA just dropped another budget line AR-15 called the Guardsman, and this one's probably one of their best with the features that it comes with, and it's going to be really popular for those of you that are looking for a decent AR-15 out of the box without having to do a ton of upgrades. So this is just an overview and a breakdown of this rifle. This is not a full review. I've not been able to shoot 1,000 rounds like I normally want to before I do a review and share my thoughts. This is just going to be initial opinions on this, going over the new features. So this just released and I just got this in. So I have not had this in my possession for a very long time, but I wanted to get the video out to you. I know a lot of you will have questions about this line. What's different about it? What's unique? And is it worth that number? This is an incredibly affordable option coming from PSA. These are under $6 and it's going to be coming with a lot of nice features like your flat face trigger, your mag pull furniture, ambidextrous safety selector, have the new Guardsman furniture, which is like your traditional AR-15 furniture, nothing super fancy about that, but it does come in FD and all black, depending which one you want. This is the pistol version, comes in 3 different barrel lengths. You have an 8-inch, a 10.3, and a 16-inch, and then the pistol versions have this little brace here. So on top of some of those little things that a lot of us would just upgrade if you're buying one of their more budget end AR-15s, you're upgrading the trigger, the safety selector, the furniture, you know, it comes with those things, but what a lot of people really want, and that's more of the heart of a rifle, is the barrel and the bolt carrier. So you have a chrome lined phosphate barrel, and then the BCGs are gonna be featuring Springco gas rings, along with individually tested Carpenter 158 bolts, and these are not batch tested, which is nice. They're checking out each individual one. That is gonna be one of those things with PSA that you're gonna have to always check for, is their quality control. When they're making these budget style guns and they're pushing them out, I mean, PSA sells a crap ton of these. All of their line, they sell like crazy. But one of the biggest things I've noticed with PSA is gonna be their quality control. If you get some of the good ones, man, you're getting a really solid rifle for the price, but there can be those ones that come in that slip through the cracks, and that is just something to watch for. But these bolts are individually tested, and I like that. And real quickly, I always like to be as transparent as possible with you and go over my relationship with a company before we continue. PSA did send me this firearm. I did not spend my own money on it. Now let's go over the companies that are incredibly helpful for things that we do here. That is going to be Stopbox and the Neo Mag. Stopbox, I am always super happy when I can find a product that helps with firearm safety. That is why I built this room with hold display. I wanted to keep my tools and items safely away from my children and other hands. I don't want to touch them, and this is a way to be able to have access to my items, being able to punch in the combination and use what I need without my kids or anyone else having access to it. And then the Neo Mag is by far the best way I have found to be able to carry that extra magazine with you. This is a pocket carry, it's magnetic, slaps on right there. It's pretty freaking cool. And they have a bunch of other stuff on their website too that you guys are really gonna like, like the alias system, the sentry strap. I use a lot of their stuff, and this is just one of them I use a ton. But let's get back into this video, and I would appreciate if you guys would show them some love because they support me and the things I do here and allow us to continue to keep the lights on in here. So a big thank you to them. Let's get right back into this video. So that's what's really gonna bridge that gap between their more really budget line and like their sabers. And this is gonna be right there in the middle, the Guardsman. And that's gonna be that barrel, the BCG, you know, upgrading those parts, especially the things that, if for those of you that train a little bit harder with these guns, maybe a little more hard use firearm where you're putting a lot more rounds through it, that BCG, that barrel is gonna last better, it's gonna work better. And then obviously you have those little upgrades as well. The one thing I really would have liked to see them add to this that I think would have just taken it to the next level, and it's obviously a super simple thing you can do yourself. I would have liked to see them do an ambidextrous charging handle. I would have liked to see a Raptor Radian, or I don't know, there's a lot of brands out there, Aero Precision, BCM, there's a lot of good brands that make good charging handles. This is just a little, I don't know, with all the new other things they upgraded with, I was really hoping to see a nice charging handle. So maybe in the future, obviously that would bump your price up a little bit, but everyone I know, for the most part, the charging handle is one of the first things they change just because you want to get a little bit better of a purchase on it. But maybe that's just a me thing. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, if that's like something that you really like upgrading. For me, whenever I get an AR-15, the charging handle is one of the first things I do upgrade because I like to get something with a little better of a purchase on it. But I would like to know your guys' opinion on that. Maybe the data they've collected, they've noticed that people are upgrading these things down here more. People like the flat face trigger more, the mag pull furniture, and that's something a lot less people are doing. So I would be curious to hear your guys' opinion. The bird cage up front, honestly, they're pretty dang good for what they are, and you might as well chuck it on there and let people switch it out if they want to suppress it later on the road. They can put whatever suppressor host they want on there. A lot of times that's just really hard because when you choose one, you know, you're gonna make some people happy, but you're gonna make others mad because they don't have the suppressor for that mount, so it's almost easier to throw the birdcage on for the majority of people will rock that, but the ones that want the suppressors on them, they can just pick whatever they want and not have to replace a really nice muzzle device like a Surefire or another nicer brand muzzle device like that. And with Chemo kind of having a lot of issues they've been having lately, you know, you're seeing a lot of brands kind of steering away from putting those on their guns, especially if you're pin and welding it. This is the 10.3, this is the 5.56 version. They do have a 300 blackout as well. And they do sell these separately, so you can get the upper and the lower. For those of you that are like, oh, I already have my lower that's really set up, I just would like to have the bolt carrier and the barrel and kind of upgrade my upper a little bit. You can just buy the upper itself or just the lower separately. So that is nice that they add that option for those of you that want to do that. I threw in a couple little upgrades on this one. I've got the EOTech on top with that FDE to match. We've got that ScalarWorks mount that pushes it out a little bit. Got an Enforce up front there, same Magpul color. And then we got the Die-Free Co. base plate, the boots. These are pretty cool as well. But I just want to give you guys a quick video showing off the new features and what this has to offer to help you make a decision if this is something that works for you, or maybe you want to go more budget and change all the parts that you want and choose those, or maybe you want to go to the tier higher, or this is exactly what you want. This fills everything that you need, checks all the boxes. And it's nice to see that PSA is doing that. You know, they have the budget tier, they have the Saber line that's a little bit higher, and there was kind of a gap there in the middle, and this kind of fills that gap. So I'd like to see that they're doing that. I know everyone is really wanting to see like the MP7 and all the other things that they were going to be putting out, the shotgun, and I know those are coming, and I'm right there with you. I'd love to see those. I'm excited for those. And you're thinking like, another budget AR15, but you know what? It's here, so I figured I'd do a video on it, show you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully you get some benefit out of that. If you guys are looking to help out the channel, the things I do, here's a couple ways to do that. Down in the description is a link to my website, tacticalvisor.net. You guys can sign up for my email list. There's a couple other things on there that's really helpful to you. I highly recommend checking that out, and you guys are gonna like that. Checking out Howitzer Clothing. They donate 5% of proceeds to charity, and they have a discount code that I can now offer to you guys to save you 15% off their clothing. Code TA15. They also have a tactical visor shirt, which I'm rocking right here. I'd love to see you guys get that, but check that out. Make sure you guys use that discount code, save yourself a ton on their clothing. That's basically all I wear all the time. I love their stuff. And I like to end on a Bible verse. And it's Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And I just imagine how terrifying and frightening that had to be walking up to Jericho. Probably a lot less frightening after the sea parted and you were able to walk over on the dry land. But just a good reminder that God is always with you wherever you go. Always recommend getting in the Bible, getting in the Word. If you guys need any resources or anything to help you in your growth, I would love to help you out and give you some of those. Just reach out to me. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much.